The year is 1836. The United States of America is but 6 decades old, young, vibrant, and ever expanding. From the streets of New York to the bustling ports of New Orleans, the commerce and industry are booming. Pioneers of innovation shape the nation's landscape, and the promise of prosperity lures immigrants from distant lands. However, that American dream is about to be dwarfed by an incoming divide of North and South, a political minefield to a yet developed nation. Can this crisis be averted? Can the American Civil War not happen? And can America become even greater than it is today? Hey, this is Victoria 3. This shows the Industrial Revolution and the political turmoil of the world between 1836 and 1936. And I'm on my way to ban the most talked about thing in America in 1836. Oh yeah, it's this. And every American's like, well, the Civil War wasn't just about this. It was kind of about a few other things, such as states being able to control their own rights. And no, it was about slavery.
Oh, way down south.
Come on, get over it. What if we could ban slavery immediately and also pivot America away from the Civil War? Well, permanently, forever. Well, I'm going to show you how. First of all, we hate Britain. I mean, Americans hating Britain. What's new? Expel the diplomats. We hate Britain. And also Canada. Americans hate Canada, right? No, is that a thing? That's right. We are going to liberate that subject. And if you look very, very closely on the diplomatic plays, so we want to liberate Lower Canada, liberate the Canadians. Haha. And then we unpause and oh. The British demands are to get rid of slavery. So if we were going to get rid of slavery by our own terms, it would be a nightmare. Because look. So can you see the support for legacy slavery? It's 55%. They love it. And 23% disagree. Now, if you look at the top, slavery banned, an actual act to get rid of slavery, is only supported by 23%. Everyone else just plain old hates it. So this is a decision we won't make internally because it would cause a civil war. But if someone were to move our hand and force us in that direction, well, that's a different story. Welcome to the start of the most prosperous United States ever. And we are going to be focusing internally on industry. That will be our initial goal. Construction to get that GDP rolling. Tax the babies. Oh, that's right. Americans getting taxed. What could go wrong? Tax the services. Tax the tobacco. Tax the furniture, tax the liquor, and we're making so much money now. Oh, and tax is great. And boom, we don't need government wages. Wow, what a beginning. What a start. And every industry in Victoria 3 revolves around the 3 magic triangle. That's right. We're going to be harvesting many irons, but you'll get that from Virginia. And then also we'll simultaneously need wood harvested and also Virginia. And then finally tools, which we'll be making in New York. You want to start an industrial revolution? That's your magic triangle that we need to begin with. So initially you want to back down and their demands will be enforced, but they're not actually enforced. For some reason it doesn't work that way. So you kind of need to wait for the war to start and then capitulate, and then their demands will be enforced. Oh, they have some more demands. Oh, okay, that wasn't expected. Oh, looks like we're making a few more demands to the Brits. Take our money. We don't want it. Boom. We're at war with Britain. And it's a war that we just don't want to fight. War of 1812. Again, I don't think so. The White House has just been repainted. We don't want to be burning it down. We are going to capitulate. Boom. And there we go. As you can see, slavery has now been banned. And now our interest groups are mad. Oh, they are so mad. And the rural folk and the southern planters are the ones who want to start this civil war and cause a big hoo-ha. Not gonna happen. And see this, the slavery debate. So right now, the southern planters have a lot of control in America, and they're creating the divide. If we can go 10 years with slavery banned and it doesn't fire a civil war, we're in a beautiful position to say slavery is a part of the past, and we move on from there. Seriously, move on, America. Come on, move on. We just wait for the progress bar to go from left to right. It's that easy. Who said we needed a messy civil war, right? Nah. And Texas has joined the Union. It was just that easy. Now, one of the fun mechanics of America, if you look on the flag here, you can see the exact number of stars is the amount of states that we've got. And every time you add a new state, it adds an extra star to that flag, like real life. So what we can do is incorporate Texas, Arkansas, Florida, Iowa, you know, all the boyos. And every time these new ones get integrated, we'll get a new star on our flag, which can result in you getting more stars than you would normally. You thought 50 stars was too much? Well, oh, you're about to see a lot of stars. The first election in, well, my United States. And the winner is the People's Party, which is the rural folk, followed by the Whig Party, which is the church, as well as intelligentsia, Democratic Party, which is the South, the boyos we kind of want to kick out, and pretty much the rest. Reform the government, and the rural folk are the only ones in power. Oof. What are their beliefs? They're authoritarian. They want a single party state. They also want secret police. Do you know what? I'm down for that. A secret police force behind the scenes, pulling the political strings of America, like real life. All right, next up, we are good Dominion, Mexico. We want to push westward, and we do want to manifest our destiny, which will eventually come. But for now, we need a Dominion status, so we're going to be annexing a little bit of territory. Mobilize the boys. The first battle. Mexicans decimated on the border of Texas. The push begins. Second push, annihilated. And it's just a free push into Mexico. Absolutely obliterated. At the very start of the game, Mexico is incredibly weak. I mean, brutally weak. I feel like it needs a buff. But anyway, here we are. Manifesting our destiny. You know, same old. Boom! Subjugated Mexico. And look at the new flag of Mexico. An American star. Nice. Blue! The secret police have arrived. Mobilize them. How did I say that this is not a historical playthrough? No, this is not historical. An optimistic playthrough, but not exactly the best timeline if you catch my drift. Oh my goodness. What's happening here? In fact, nothing's happening here. I told you this is a historical game. Or is it? I don't know. I forget. Okay. Desperate need for railways right now. So we need to build a load of those. Yes. And yes. The motor industry is born. And also, in a surprising twist of fate, we've decided that New York would be a better capital than Washington. Yeah, I disapprove of this man-made capital. A port capital with a natural harbor. That seems about right. Change the capital to New York. The states have been incorporated, and we have, is it 5 new stars? Yeah, perfectly symmetrical. It'd be terrible if someone ruined that, right? I'm not gonna lie, that one territory owned by Britain is a bit of an eyesore. Not a fan. Mexico, you are no longer useful to me. It is time for us to annex you. The front lines are mobilized, and also the South Americans are helping you, which is very nice of them. However, the amount of armies that we can mobilize right now is ridiculous. Raise the levies. And that's it. It's 1846. And slavery now is a thing of the past in America. Come on, America. It was just that easy. The pro-slavery ideals among the Southern planters have faded significantly. They are now a thing of the past. Now it is time to unite against the Mexicans, which is also like real life. Wow, this is meant to be ahistorical, and it's just gone historical all the way. The first push! And of course, we outnumber them massively, so it is pretty straightforward. The initial push was a little bit slow because I had to change a few of my equipment around, and we suffered from a big attack penalty, but now the push has begun. Another one. Another one. And another one. Well, a smaller one. You know, this feature of Victory I wasn't a big fan of to begin with, but I really like that you see your flags drawn across their map now. I think that looks really cool. I think more map games need this. Please disagree with me in the comments below. Boom. Look at this. Now that is a big America. And it is now time to get significantly more stars on our flag. How many extra stars? I think probably about 15. We're getting closer to the magical 50. Soon, gentlemen. The Industrial Revolution is here. Engines of progress. All aboard. Well, we fixed slavery, but turmoil is still a thing in America. Like real life? It's time to dismantle the institutions that gave power to the South. And one of them was a local police force, a biased approach that supported the Southern planters. Now, a dedicated police force that is for everyone. It's here. Americans don't know what they want, okay? Our objective is to steer this country in the best possible direction. Maybe the freedom to assemble has led us astray. It is time for maybe to nip the bud on some of the speech that we don't necessarily agree with. If it isn't for America, then I don't want to hear about it. Manifest destiny. And we gain a bunch of claims, which makes no sense really, because we've kind of already got this land anyway. In other news, check out the stars on our flag. Oh, the lack of symmetry. No. So for the record, you're wondering why did I do Manifest Destiny after when I annexed Mexico? The reason is when you make Mexico a dominion and then you annex them, it's cheaper, it's less infamy than by going to war with them over and over again. You need at least 2 to 3 wars to completely annex all the territory that's part of Manifest Destiny, and it's just easy to dominion them and annex them, and you get all of Mexico as well. So why not both? The Mexican Uprising, it's like this little island in the middle of Mexico, but I still control the center for some reason. Well, that was short-lived. Oh, new feature. We can now demobilize a general. What's with the menacing sounds? Not that bad, guys. Come on. Hey, and the Indian territory has become fully independent. It's actually got a native name now. Well, unfortunately, this is going to be short-lived as well. We did bankroll you to independence. But unfortunately, that's going to have to end now, I'm afraid. Sorry. Oh, that's kind. The game says return state. It's like it was mine all along, so I don't have to feel bad. Nice. Man, I blinked. And the first battle was instantaneous. I don't think they even had an army. The stars are expanding, and so are the secessions. I forget this peninsula even exists in Mexico. And I forgot about the secession already. It's like it never even happened. Manifest Destiny has been completed. We have wrestled control of the American Southwest from all the illegitimate clutches of Mexico. Mexico? What's Mexico? The United States of America now stretches from the Atlantic to the Pacific. All these states are considered our homelands. Oh, America. Laissez-faire has arrived. Capitalism, completely untouched by regulation, left to its own devices, will lead us to an economic explosion. Well, hopefully anyway. Ultra-capitalism is here. Economic explosion and a beautiful unified borders. I think this is prettier borders than IRL. Wait, hang on. Ignore that part. And also ignore that Canada isn't unified. Ignore that. Who is this gentleman? Joshua Norton. And he wants to enact monarchy in the United States. How un-American. You know, this is definitely an ahistorical game. A revolution to enact monarchy in the United States. Yes. Boom. Washington acquired. Now, these are prettier borders, I'll admit. Freedom, equality, and brotherhood. That's not the direction we're going. However, we have this gentleman, Abraham Lincoln, a radical gentleman, the leader of the petite bourgeoisie, after throwing a revolution for several years because they wanted a monarchy. It just doesn't make sense. Votes for everyone. Well, for now. And also, maybe we should expand a little bit in the south, to, you know, to gain more stars, you know? Expand the flag. You can help this flag by expanding it. All of a sudden, America has a loathing for Latin America, like real life. Now, this is a time for a little bit more spice and, well, a little bit more land as well. And maybe an extra star too. Negotiate the Alaska purchase through some doubt and strategic and economic value of the vast expanses of Alaska. We should not pass up the opportunity to push the frontiers of liberty. 10 million is the cost to purchase Alaska. And the Russians say, yes. The Russians will later regret that decision. Manifest Destiny to the west, and also Manifest Destiny to the south. Are there any more oceans we can connect to? Oh, I think we probably can. Africa? Why not? Well, I did what I needed to do. I feel like we've let the capitalists take over. Ignore what's happening in Canada. Who cares about Canada, right? So let's return democracy back to its roots. Guaranteed liberties. Loyalists have become a bit of a problem. We've kind of fixed them just recently, but you know what? Let's make them go forever. Loyalists, loyal, well, forever. Small bites out of Latin America. Let's go for a bigger bite. The biggest bite. The northern entire chunk. Whoosh! Austrians have arrived. Too little, too late, buddy. Boom. Blue. Hang on. If I dominion Venezuela, it's only 12 infamy? What? Ah, that feels like a freebie. I'd be silly not to. Okay. Yeah, I would be silly not to. Next. I don't know how this has happened, but Canada no longer exists. It's just Britain. The second biggest nation in the world is now Britain. It actually might be the first if we take into account Australia and the Raj. Wow, big. Anyway, the one true enemy has got to be Britain. And I think it's time for us to wrestle the big boy. Mobilize everything. Oh, wow, we don't have the option to liberate Canada. Are you joking? Oh, it's here. Is it here? No. The first shots are fired. It starts. There's always time for exploits. Always. And a triple. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! America has arrived. Welcome to the 51st state, baby. Yeah, look at this. Invasion of the UK. Most of the men, women, and children mobilized for the war. And look how loyal they are. Americans unified by war. Well, this is not really what I wanted. I kind of wanted to liberate Canada, but this new patch is a little bit funky, so it is what it is. Well, many years have passed. Conquering isn't the slowest part. The slowest part is integrating this land, particularly like this territory that just won't integrate. It takes 15 years, just basically a full game. But anyway... Look at all the stars. Move over, Australia, New Zealand. This is what stars look like. Actually, saying that, the United States just have the most stars in the world on the flag. Anyway, regardless. Well, now it has more. Enjoy. You've watched it. You can't unwatch it. And keep watching it. This is the next video. Give this one a click. This one.